Barbara Walters was one of the most influential journalists in television history. She was known for asking tough questions, breaking barriers for women in media, and conducting unforgettable interviews with world leaders, celebrities, and public figures. Imagine sitting across from the most powerful people in the world. Presidents, movie stars, kings and queens. And yet, you aren't intimidated. Instead, you ask the question everyone wants answered. That was Barbara Walters. Her words didn't just fill television screens, they inspired millions to be curious, brave, and authentic. Let's explore some of her most famous sayings and discover why they still matter today. To excel is to go where no man has gone before. Picture a young woman entering television news in the 1960s. At that time, most major news desks were dominated by men. Many believed women couldn't handle serious journalism. But Barbara refused to accept those limits. This quote reflects her entire life journey. She wasn't interested in simply fitting in. She wanted to break new ground. And she did. She became the first female co-anchor of a major American network evening news program. That's why this quote became famous. It represents courage, ambition, and the determination to create new paths where none existed before. Most people don't lead fascinating lives. They lead lives that are interesting. Barbara spent decades interviewing celebrities and world leaders. But over time, she learned something surprising. You don't have to be famous to have a meaningful story. The school teacher. The single parent. The shop owner. The neighbor next door. Every person has struggles, dreams, victories, and lessons worth hearing. This quote became famous because it reminds us that ordinary lives are often more powerful and relatable than glamorous ones. Show me someone who never gossips, and I'll show you someone who isn't interested in people. Now, Barbara wasn't praising harmful rumors. What she meant was something deeper. Human beings are naturally curious about one another. We're fascinated by relationships, decisions, and personal stories. As a journalist, curiosity was her superpower. Without curiosity, there would be no great interviews, no great conversations, and no understanding of people. That's why this quote became memorable. It highlights the role curiosity plays in connecting us with others. The biggest problem with every art is by the use of appearance to create a loftier reality. Barbara spent years interviewing celebrities whose public image often looked perfect. But she knew that appearances could be deceiving. Behind the spotlight, there were fears, mistakes, and struggles. This quote became famous because it encourages us to look beyond the surface and seek the truth underneath. It's a lesson that remains relevant in today's social media age. Success can make you go one of two ways. It can make you a prima donna, or it can smooth the rough edges. Success changes people. Some become arrogant. Others become wiser and kinder. Barbara witnessed both throughout her career. Her message is simple. Success isn't measured by fame or money. It's measured by the kind of person you become after achieving your goals. That's why this quote continues to inspire professionals, entrepreneurs, and dreamers everywhere. Barbara Walters didn't become legendary because she had all the answers. She became legendary because she never stopped asking questions. Her words remind us to stay curious, to challenge barriers, and to remember that every person has a story worth telling. Because sometimes, the most powerful question is the one nobody else is brave enough to ask. And that is the lasting legacy of Barbara Walters.